Hello, welcome to the podcast. This is Simon Cook.
This is Vinnie Furman.
And we don't have a name for our podcast yet.
Nothing.
But we'll be getting to that in a minute. First off, we'd like to introduce ourselves a little bit about our background. Me, Simon Cook, I am a filmmaker by heart and by trade.
I'm Vinnie Furman. I am a artist and a musician.
Between the two of us, we have 45 years experience in the industry.
Yep.
Whichever industry that is.
Masters of our craft.
Yeah. So we decided, as an artist and a filmmaker, we should record some stuff because that's logical, makes sense.
Yep.
And what we're doing here basically is we are trying to. I have no idea, Vinny. What are we doing?
I don't know. It's a lifestyle podcast. It's about our lifestyle and the lifestyle we think you should follow.
Oh, that was gold. So yeah, basically, we'll talk. We'll jabber on about useless crap, and you'll listen to it because you're socially obligated, because you're probably all our friends right now at this point with our first podcast.
Yeah, you probably know us, so
right. So we should still probably tell you more stuff that you already know about us, like I'm in mid-20s.
Yeah, I'm 24 years old.
Smoking, which is that sound.
We're both drinking King Cobra.
King Cobras. So
there's from the bottle. So
there's a couple. That's a head off to our first thing, which is the name our podcast contest, which isn't a contest, but we need a name. And instead of coming up with one ourselves, we figured we'd ask you. Why that was a jumping off point for me was because I think one of the names that we should be called, one that I want to suggest, is the Cobra Kings. But there's some other ones we've been throwing around. He's got a few written down.
Yeah, let's see. We've got Conversations Below 6'3".
Wait, what? Below 6'3"? What was that again? I don't remember the context.
Because they're conversations without will.
Right, yes. For those who don't know, because I know everyone listening to this probably knows either me or Vinny, but we used to be in a band together in high school with our good friend Will Hooper, who is 6'3", very tall man. So, but Conversation Below 6'3", I get it now, yeah.
We also have Alien Contact Happy.
It's about time.
As well as Computers, Lasers, Computers.
Which is just a really cool band name, I think. But since we're not in bands anymore, well, I'm not in bands anymore, you still sort of are in bands. I'll never have a chance to name a band again, so I like that one. What was the other band name you really liked? I'm a Dracula?
Yeah, he's a Dracula.
He's a Dracula. So if any of these ring a bell, leave a comment below. The way that you probably realize now, because you're watching this in the future, is that we are posting these on YouTube for now. It's because we don't really want to figure out the whole podcast thing and actually cast the pods.
Yeah.
So we're also going to be breaking it up into a few segments. We'll be linking them between each other, putting them on YouTube. So you can leave comments below. Leave a comment below with the name for our podcast you like. If you like just the Simon and Vinny podcast, and just say that, or whatever mundane crap you can think of. But let's get on to our show. First thing we're going to do is we're going to go over some current events. And the theme for our current events show is that we don't really understand the current events.
Yeah, we don't watch the news. We don't really read.
Very unplugged in.
Yeah.
So we're gonna basically be telling you the news from the standpoint of somebody who is very, very lazy and doesn't care at all. So let's go ahead and get started. What do you got for us today, Vinny?
Buying gold. We're supposed to do it. We're supposed to buy it. I think it's because the economy is collapsing and paper money isn't worth anything.
In theory, yeah. Well, the U.S. system was taken off the paper money or the gold standard, I think in the 70s under Nixon. And feel free to leave a comment below if I'm entirely wrong.
It sounds right.
It sounds right. Feel free to leave a comment below if it sounds right. I'm looking for a lot of comments here. Are going to be sorely disappointed.
Yeah.
Anyway, the gold. The idea is that gold is, always worth something. Whereas our money, which can burn and be destroyed and all that, is never gonna not always going to be worth anything. As soon as if our government ever collapses, then our paper money is going to be not worth anything, in theory.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know why gold would be worth anything, though, either.
Well, it's a precious metal. There's only so much of it in the world. You know?
Yeah, I mean...
The value of gold is something that's always eluded me. I don't know who sets the value of gold, like how much an ounce is worth and all that.
Yeah.
I want to say $1,300 for an ounce of gold right now.
That sounds right. I saw a commercial earlier about the buffalo nickel, yeah. And I think they said it was 13,000 an ounce or something.
And then that commercial, they're like, "Oh man, it's this 0.999% gold," and they're telling you like, "Oh, and gold is worth this much," but they're not telling you that there's only a plating of gold, and it's not even anywhere near an ounce.
Yeah.
But something on a similar note that I find interesting is diamonds. Now, diamonds are worth a lot. Right, you would agree.
Yeah.
Apparently not. Apparently, there's the OPEC of diamonds, the big oligarchies of diamonds. That's the wrong word, but they just decided to make diamonds worth a lot of money.
So diamonds are like
there's so
nothing.
many diamonds. They found so many diamonds at this point that they're nowhere near the value that they're set at. And it's De Beers and the other big diamond companies. They have it all locked up in a safe and. They're only releasing a little bit to keep it at a high price.
But diamonds, though, you use to like cut stuff, right? It's like a strong material.
It's the strongest material, I think. It can cut through glass. It is, I believe Mr. Marshall, our 7th grade, or 9th grade science teacher, told me once it was the strongest material, most dense. And that's why there's a scientific purpose for it. But just as, as cosmetic jewelry and all that and everything... that's what it's really valued for,
Yeah. You think, like, the scientists that, like, use diamonds to cut things, they're probably kind of pissed, like, they got to pay so much more to get the diamonds to cut things.
Yeah, I guess.
Just because, like, people give it out as wedding rings,
Right. Well, they're scientists. I'm sure they've come up with, like, an artificial diamond. They can create one in the lab that doesn't look pretty but is able to cut glass.
Like, it's just, like, not shiny. It's just...
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. It's condensed coal, I know that. This is very informative stuff. Thank you again for tuning in. What else we got in current events? Anything?
Kim Jong-il died. He was succeeded by his son, Kim Jong-un.
Is it Young?
I don't know. I think it's Young.
I thought.
Young?
It's UN. I don't know how to pronounce it. He's got to be in the media for like 5 years before I know how to pronounce it.
Yeah. But I heard a lot of people were confused and they thought little Kim died.
No, you didn't.
I did. There's tons of Twitter posts about people who thought little Kim died.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Is Lil Kim dead? I don't even know.
No, I think Lil Kim's alive, but I'm not, I'm still deciding the importance of Kim Jong-il dying. I don't know if it's like the onset of World War III or if it really doesn't matter like anything North Korea does.
I don't know. It matters in the sense that people are always afraid. It's something else to be afraid of. Like, oh, man, maybe they're going to get a nuke and launch it somewhere.
Yeah, because, we killed Osama.
Yeah.
We killed Saddam Hussein. Got to be scared of someone.
There's plenty of people to be scared of. I wouldn't worry about that. There's no shortage of people to frighten you. Just a really big guy sitting next to you on a bus. The next dictator.
I sat next to a dude on the bus once who smelled like old nachos. And he kept kind of like touching my leg a little bit.
Okay. Is that the way we're going to go with this? Or you're going to go off on a tangent on something entirely made up and different?
It's not made up. It happened.
No way. This is how big? How big a guy are we talking about?
I mean, he was probably about the same size as me. He wasn't really scary. I think he was maybe a little slow. Like, I don't think everything was in there. But
okay, so it was like Of Mice and Men, just this like big kind of like slow guy, just like ooh pretty, and touches your leg and just breaks it, or
he didn't break it or anything. It's pretty gentle. I mean, I think he meant well.
That's even worse.
I just mean it was just kind of weird, and he smelled, and I thought it was better if he didn't.
Of course, it's better if he did. What did he smell like? for this informative
Yeah,
radio
no,
show.
it was kind of like maybe like the back of a Taco Bell, like the dumpster or something. Like I don't know. It wasn't like a normal like. It's kind of like BO, but extended beyond the normal regions of BO.
Okay. Well, there you go, folks. If you're a large, slow man who smells like BO and Taco Bell, stop touching Vinny's legs. Now, you have a lot of experience on the bus, right? Because you live downtown, you were using the bus a bit more than usual, right?
Yeah, a lot of public transit, the rapid.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's not. None of it's very efficient unless you're going very short distances.
Mm-hmm.
Like you go from like University Circle to like downtown to the airport, and it's all good. But then if you want to go somewhere like south, it's no good. That's not really a current event, though.
Whatever, man. Well, we only got a few more segments to go through, so we got to stretch this.
Yeah.
How long are we?
I think we're at around getting to our break here.
All right, we're going to break this up into a couple different segments because it's YouTube and there's a 15-minute limit. So I guess right now we'll take that break. You can go ahead and click on the link. We'll put a link up on the window right now. There should be a link. Go ahead and click it. Right now. Click it.